journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the Terran's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truths come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hi, everyone. Welcome in. All right, let's get this started. Nat. I'm gonna say no, Nat. I have the Two of Wands and the Patience card, which is Temperance in the tarot. So I think it's going to require some more time before that happens. Mature. Yes. I have the Queen of Earth and the Nine of Swords for you, mature. This is for Sophie. Sophie, I'm getting a no, friend. I have the Five of Wands. I do hope I'm wrong. Mature. I am getting a yes. The Page of Wands. Venus. No, Ten of Pentacles. Amy. Yes, the Emperor card. Nat, you're welcome. Mature, you're welcome. Sophie and Venus, you're welcome. If you dropped the yes or no question, please make sure you are liking the live stream. This is for Maya. Yes, the Magician. Shavana, I have the Hermit card, and I how do I wear this? I am getting a no. But your question is like, will it ever happen? And I truly believe that anything can happen at any point. So, what that is telling me is that the energy that you're in right now is not suitable for these conditions. So, to feel pessimistic about it, it's fine to observe those feelings, but you don't want to stay in that energy because the universe reflects what you believe. So if you're having a moment, if you just want to kind of like give up on this right now and just kind of live your life, that's great. But I don't want you to stay in the energy of losing hope for too long, because you're not going to allow yourself to be open to receiving. Now, with tarot, everything is along the current energy, it's along the current trajectory, meaning that if you continue down this path, you very well may never find anyone. It doesn't mean it's not possible. You just have to use your own free will to influence a different outcome. Gemini. I have a yes, Gemini, the Sun. Anna. Anna, I have a no, the Tower. I'm getting pre-orders and regular orders tonight, guys. I will update the donation list as soon as I get a break here to do that. Brittany, I'm getting... I'm going to say yes in moments of solitude, 7 of cups and 4 of air, meaning that whenever this person had an opportunity to be alone or be on their own, they did think of you, but maybe this is indicating this person is like busy or really just trying to kind of keep their mind off of things today. But overall, I am getting a yes. It's just maybe it wasn't like all that he thought about. Like maybe he had other things going on. Space Cowboy. Space Cowboy. I have a yes. 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Hugs, kisses. So hugs, pugs, kisses. Your question specifically has to do with approval, like a government question. And if you take a look at my disclaimer in the chat itself and also in my description, I typically don't answer questions regarding these matters. So you'll want to rephrase and get that new question in ASAP because my free list is about to close. Thank you, IJ. Amy, you're welcome. Maya, you're welcome. Sweeter, hey girl, welcome in. Shavana says, I understand. You're welcome, Shavana. Anna, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to update my donation list as soon as I can. I just need a minute to get to that. All right, Aisha is next. Let me find your question. Here we go. Aisha, I'm getting a no. 9 of Swords. Sweeter. Sweeter. Yes, Empress. Sienna. Oh, wait. Ignore the all list closed. I'm so sorry. That is not correct. That banner scrolling across the screen is not correct. The only list that's closed is the free list. Sorry if that was confusing. All right, Sienna. Deanna, I have a yes, 9 of water, 9 of cups, your wish coming true. Techie. Yes, the Hierophant techie, but this person has to feel very connected to you in order to try to make that work. So the connection and the bond would have to be formed like way in advance. This person wouldn't do long distance if you just started dating like a week or two ago. Feelings would have to be formed and things like that. Kayla. Kayla. Yes. Temperance and the Emperor. Teats. Yes, the Sun. Oh, nice. Congratulations, sweeter. The Empress card is great for that motherhood role. The Empress is the ultimate card for that. Sienna, you're welcome. Kayla Teets, you're welcome. All right, let's get this last 2 questions answered. We're moving on to donations after this. Hugs, pugs, kisses. Yes, King of Swords. Shirley. Temperance is a yes for me. Aw, thank you, sweeter. I appreciate that, friend. I'm wishing you a very healthy and safe and beautiful delivery, okay? I hope it's easy for you. All right, guys, give me 2 seconds because we are going to update the donation list so everyone can see where they are. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you for stopping in. All right. All right, guys, this is the order of the donations. I thought we had some pre-orders, but we did not. Um, so just throwing that out there. If, like, for instance, someone wants to skip the list, you guys can pay $5 to do that, and I basically move you up. If you're worried about someone skipping you, you can pay $5 to hold your spot. It's a first come, first serve basis. We are going to go ahead and get started on a SB who already sent me her questions. All right. So First question for SB. We are working on yours now. All right, you want actions in-depth reading actions for next 30 days. Okay. And then messages from him. And then separate question in-depth reading for this other person. All right, let's focus on your first one first. Kayla, absolutely. Drop your question below and I'll hold on to it. When it's your turn, I will get that answer for you, whether you're here or not. I got it. All right, SB, let's see next actions. So, SB, for this question, Techie, ignore what Nightbot just said to you. Ignore it. So Nightbot, I forgot that I changed the name to Pay to Jump. Techie, you're totally fine. I got you. Nightbot is programmed that if someone says that they were skipped, like instance, like I skipped them on a free question or something, Nightbot is programmed to remove the comment, but it's not filtered for if you're paying to skip. So I do apologize about that. Okay. But I got you. You paid to skip, so let me move you up on the list here. So you're gonna be next. Let's see. Yeah, so whenever you get that sent over, Techie, I'll move you up on the list. And I will keep an eye on it so you don't have to worry about typing it again. I forgot that I changed the wording. It's jumping the line, like paying to jump the line. I had to reword that so that Nightbot wouldn't. Thank you. I got you. Okay. So you're next after SB, okay? And everyone else will move down the line. Bada bing, bada boom. Pay to jump. So no one can jump ahead of you, Techie. All right, back to SB's reading. Indian civilian, please pay attention to the chat. We are not doing free questions anymore. I do appreciate you liking the live stream if you did do that. Susan, you can pay for your question to be answered, or you can check back another time. There's a banner scrolling along the bottom of the screen indicating we're not doing free questions anymore. We are just doing donations, but thank you for liking the live stream. So SB, let's officially get started. 25, 30. Okay, so where this is kind of going, SB, is kind of what I was picking up before when I said that when he first moves away or like when he first leaves, he is in a place of needing to kind of get acclimated, and that does interfere with the ability for him to connect with you as much as maybe he would like to, or as much as he was anticipating. I do feel like you still hear from him, okay? But I feel like it does kind of, the conversation and communication does kind of die down a little bit. And it's not for lack of interest, it's more for the fact that he has to kind of get adjusted. He has like maybe unpacking to do, he's got training to do, he has this new life, this new rhythm, this new routine, whatever it is in a place of adjustment for him. And that is going to maybe even make you feel like he's pulling away even more than what he already was before he left. But I do have this feeling or this sense that he will be coming back around. um, will it be after the 30 days? Will it be after the 30 days? Will she hear from him before the 30 days? So they're saying you are definitely going to hear from him within this 30-day range that you're asking about, but they're saying that as time goes on, you become more he becomes more active in his communication with you. So the longer that he's out there and the more stable he feels with what it is that he's doing now in this new life, it makes me feel like he's wanting to reach out to you even more. But Spirit is like, please, please, please communicate with her and tell her that she is going to hear from him, even maybe in the next week, like Spirit doesn't want you to think that he's completely dropped off or forgotten about you. He's still here, he's still around. You probably hear him more so after 30 days. Right now it's just a little bit more of a challenging energy. Um but I do still think there's going to be communication. I don't think he's going to try to solidify anything as in like a relationship. I'm getting a no on that, but the Two of Swords is here and it's talking about still wanting to give this a go or give it a shot. So staying strong. We have the Strength card. Let's see. There's still that attraction to you, that physical attraction to you, that like raw magnetism in your direction that he's still feeling, that he feels like he hasn't fully gotten to explore to its fullest potential. And I have the Eight of Pentacles indicating that he still wants to work on this, he still wants to work this out. So that is his energy right now. There's a desire within him to keep this moving along, Eight of Wands, but in this card there is a tornado in the background, meaning that he feels like his life is kind of all over the place, kind of chaotic. And I think until he can get his external world to match his internal world, and where he starts to feel a little more at peace, a little more adjusted, it's going to be hard for him to manage all of this at one time. So I think what you can expect from him is still communication, but what I would recommend is not expecting a lot of that, at least in the beginning. Let's take a look at what messages he has for you. Okay, so I feel like he's saying like my life is not aligned right now. Like our lives are not aligned. So it's like you guys are not sharing like a similar experience. Like he feels like he's kind of off doing one thing, you're doing something else. And it's like making it kind of hard for you guys. Um, so I feel like he's saying like we're not sharing like a similar life or a similar alignment. He's saying, I want you so badly, though. He's saying, I admire you, and you don't know how hard it was to let you go. I hope one day you can forgive me. I can't stop thinking about you. At the bottom of the deck, I have, do I still have a chance? And I feel you even though we are apart. I wish things could be different. Okay, so let's take a look at your next in-depth reading, and I think that's your last one of the night, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Chemistry between you and this person when you see each other. You want to take it slow, being friendly. All right, let's clear the energy. New person. What will the chemistry be like between them when they see you? All right, this is really good chemistry with this person. Um, I think it really just matters where you fall in line on the timeline, like when you meet this person. Like, how do I explain this? The chemistry is there and it's good, and I'll get a little bit more detail than that. But I feel like how you respond to him, chemistry related, will all depend on where your head is at. Okay. So, my recommendation would be to maybe wait a couple weeks before meeting up with this person because you're still kind of like in your mind, kind of still connected to the other person you're asking about. And I almost want this to be a palate cleanser for you. I really want you to go into this date like with a clear mind and really just kind of pick up what it is you're seeing without the distraction of someone else being in the back of your mind, because I think that the chemistry could be heightened even more if you're not distracted by thinking of someone else, if that makes sense. But I do feel like there is really great chemistry here for the two of you. I have the Knight of Wands and the Temperance card. This signifies wanting to kind of maybe you just really want to make out with someone. I don't know. Like I'm getting like this feeling of like wanting to show physical affection, just really wanting to like experience that and feel that with someone. The Temperance card indicates that there's a chemistry that could be pretty palpable. Um, and it's like I want to kind of take things slow, but I've got one eye open and I'm kind of like, do I just abandon all of those plans because this person's like really hot? Or something along those lines. Um, I do see here that the feelings are mutual. I do feel like you feel appreciated in this connection, and this connection is at least at a minimum just a lot of fun for you. I have the Four of Wands, so this card means that you guys could take things to the next level. that is available and open for you to take things to the next level if that is something that you wanted to do. I have the death card and the wheel of fortune indicating like it's just a matter of time. So this could be some competition, honestly, for this other person that you've kind of had to like let go of for a little while. I do see here with the Page of Pentacles and especially the Wheel of Fortune is that you might just want to take a shot. You might just want to take a gamble. Even the Two of Swords is here, which is the card that I tell you, like wanting, not really knowing what's going to happen, but like wanting to like take a shot at it anyway and see if it happens, see what happens. Have you ever heard of like the expression of throwing pasta on the wall to see if it sticks? Like I think just taking a chance, taking a gamble, even if it's a little risky. The page on the Pentacles card, he's like flipping a coin, like heads or tails. Should I not? The Wheel of Fortune always talks about chance. And then the Two of Swords talks about like being blinded and uncertain, but still thinking, I want to give it a go and see if I can shoot my shot kind of thing. So I almost feel like this person, the chemistry is like palpable. I feel like you guys have like a really good thing going, the two of you. But like I said, how open you are to it is going to determine how much you feel when you guys are together. So SB, that is what I have for you, friends. Thank you so much for your donations tonight. I hope you enjoyed your readings with me. I am going to go ahead and move on to the next person. Techie paid to skip / jump the line. So Techie is next. Techie, if you want to post your question now, feel free to do that. I have you for an in-depth reading. All right, update on how MG views you. With these cards, I do not think you're reading into it at all, Techie. I really, really don't, especially because I have the Ace of Wands and the Empress here, which means that you're his ideal match. I don't know if I've told you this before, but when the Empress card is here, it's like the highest compliment that someone can give to you, indicating like you're their type, you're their ideal match, you're their ideal person, like nobody compares to you kind of vibe. And then we also have the Ace of Wands, which is definitely classically meaning that this person is very much into you in a physical way as well. And that there could be a lot of passion and desire being a driving force behind their affection for you. So I don't think you are looking too deep into these actions by the cards that I have just pulled for you. I do think this is something that he wants to kind of keep under the surface right now. I'm still not noticing or feeling a lot of action just yet from this person. I have the moon, which just talks about keeping your feelings kind of under wraps, deep down, kind of suppressing them or pushing them down. However, the death card here does indicate that he can only do that for so long because eventually his true feelings are going to come through for you. I have the Five of Wands here, which is that card that I told you about. Like you had asked if you guys entered a relationship, how would he be? And I was telling you all the things. And then I mentioned like the jealousy thing. And that is coming through again, just feeling like he's in competition with other people for your attention. I'm kind of getting like the strong desire that he wants to kiss you. Let's see. He's in a deliberation state of mind right now. Two of Pentacles means that he hasn't quite decided like what he's going to do with you, how he's going to move forward in your connection. So he's deliberating. He's maybe going back and forth trying to figure it out. But the Lovers is coming through. The Lovers talks about like having like a high level soul connection with someone, feeling very connected to them, feeling like they could be your partner, your ideal match, someone that you might want to enter a relationship with. The Lovers is like love, harmony, relationships. But it signifies, the biggest thing about the Lovers is it signifies a choice that you have to make. So maybe his deliberation is like this choice. Am I going to pursue her? Am I going to hold off for a little longer? What is it that I want from this? So this is definitely a romantic connection. And you know, sometimes it talks about like soulmates and things like this. This is the card of Gemini, where like Geminis have a hard time making decisions. And so it makes sense that it would talk about needing to make a choice. So from that perspective, it makes me feel like he's indecisive, or he like keeps going back and forth, tossing the idea between temptation and moving towards you versus like kind of giving it some more time before he jumps hastily into a situation with you. You would want to keep it under wraps. He was near you. You looked up at your phone. Wait, today when he was near me, I looked at my phone and smiled. He was in your space, but you couldn't because you would have blushed. Next time I'll look. Yeah, the what signifies that it's deeper than lust for me is the love the lovers card. The lovers always comes with like a more profound connection that goes beyond the physical. So it sounds like you're also kind of trying to play it cool. Techie, is there anything else you wanted to donate for before I move on to the next question or the next person? Okay. Give me 1 second. All right, this one looks like a mini for you. What can I do for you this time? I do feel like he's trying to signal to you already his interest. They are showing me that it's not going to really be a lot that happens outside of wait, is it you guys work together? Is that what it is? Eight of Pentacles is about work. I'm trying to recall what you told me. Like basically where you know him from. If that's at work or somewhere else, it's not going to really be taken out of that context. However, they are showing that he is trying to kind of give you signs and signals of his interest. Some is intentional and the other part of it is like maybe unintentional, because I think he really is very drawn to you and wants to be near you and around you, and sometimes he can't really control that aspect. I do have the Knight of Cups here, which is like wearing your heart on your sleeve and being like more flirty and more romantic. So you could expect maybe some more flirtation from him. I also have the Six of Wands, and that talks about like admiring someone or wanting to show appreciation and wanting some to get someone's attention and wanting to give attention to that person. So next to like show already showing you signals or trying to like get close to you, I'm getting like flirtation, and then I'm also getting like wanting to do things for you or show you that he appreciates you. So he could be giving you compliments. He could be literally physically giving you a gift. He could be trying to do things that command more of your attention from him. So sometimes this could come as like a maybe like he says something funny and kind of looks your way to see if you're paying attention to what he's saying. And maybe did you think that what he said was hilarious? Did you laugh? How are you responding to him? Just paying a lot of more attention to you and your body language. I feel like it's definitely important to him that you view him really, really well, meaning like you have a good impression of him because he's trying to impress you. So, communication wise, with these cards, it's not necessarily indicating a lot of conversation, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's more so like body language, flirty eyes, some maybe some flirtation, like some maybe giving you a compliment here or there. Just I think he's dipping his toes in the water right now, so to speak. With getting comfortable about pursuing you, because remember I said in the last reading that he's kind of in that deliberation place where he's not fully ready to jump in just yet. So this is kind of getting his feet wet, if that makes sense. So I think maybe just getting a little bit more of his attention, or him trying to give a little bit of attention back to you, but it's definitely feeling like a flirty vibe, a flirty energy between the two of you for sure. I don't think he's like going to be asking for your phone number or anything just yet. I think that he's going to try to keep it within the current bounds that it is at the moment. But maybe just showing you a little bit more of his like flirty side. Yeah, you were thinking he wanted your attention. Yeah. So like there's nothing wrong with playing it, a little coy, a little cool. Okay, Tucky, go for it. I got you, Techie. Looks like another mini for you tonight. How will this affect you? More into the kind of guy he is. Okay, so do you want me to kind of look into his what do you call it? His morals, his values, things that are important to him, personality. Okay. Let's see. Can you tell me about him? Tell me about him. He's definitely a very playful kind of person, like very lighthearted and playful. What's coming through here is the child archetype. This card talks about him seeing the beauty and the potential for all things around him. Um, like what this is kind of reminding me of is someone who no matter how old he gets, he still has a youthfulness about him. He still likes certain things that maybe he really enjoyed in his childhood. So this could indicate like maybe he's a really big Halloween guy, like still getting dressed up and doing all the spooky things, or maybe he's super into Christmas, or maybe there's a hobby that he's had since he was a kid that he still enjoys doing, or something along those lines. I'm not talking about immaturity. I'm talking about youthfulness. I'm talking about playfulness and like just really kind of still feeling like a kid at heart at times. You know what I mean? Like, and just it's more about the association and good memories that he has attached to those things rather than him being like, oh, I'm a child. Oh, I'm a kid. I'm not saying that. It's just that he has good association. He has good memories tied to these things. And it's something that he carries into his adult life, and he just treasures it or cherishes it as well. So he might be really big into like traditions and things like that. I also have the networker archetype indicating that he really enjoys getting to know people. He's very social. I don't know if he's necessarily the engager, like if he's the one striking up the conversation, but he enjoys getting to know new people, hearing about their backgrounds, hearing about their interests and things like that. He generally is really good at that kind of socializing aspect. So he'd be like a good kind of person to bring around other people. And there's people out there, I'm one of them. Like people think I'm an extrovert because of the way I give myself away. Like I'm an Aries rising, so I'm gonna lead with confidence no matter what. But I am tried and true an introvert. Like I will always be an introvert. I feel introverted, but I'm like I give off the extroverted personality. Like my husband was like, "No, I think you're an extrovert." And I was like, "You don't understand. Deep down in my brain, that's not true." So for him, it doesn't really matter if he's introverted or extroverted. He gives off this like energy of being very social and being comfortable in social situations. I also have the destroyer archetype, which sounds bad, but it actually means that he is very aware within himself and other people of destructive and self sabotaging behavior. And he's the type of person that wants to release that kind of thing. He's the type of person that's going to like maybe speak up and acknowledge to other people, like, hey, that wasn't cool, or hey, do you realize that you're having self-destructive behavior? Like, I think he is the type of person once he feels familiar with someone and really is worried or concerned about them and wants to make sure that their well-being is good, he will kind of call them out on those things. And maybe it's through, his own inner work that he's been doing as well. I have the warrior companion archetype here. So this is indicating that he's a good partner. Um, you said you're into traditions too, that he's a good partner, that he's loyal, he's unselfish, um, he's fairly confident in general. And the warrior coming out with companion makes me feel like he's a fighter, meaning like he's going to fight for what's important to him. So when we're talking about terminology of like fight or flight, he's not going to run away from a problem. He is going to sit there and give it his all, give it his best. So I feel like he's not a quitter. He's not someone who's just going to give up, if that makes sense. I feel like he is very disciplined in that way. And then the last thing I have here is the athlete. And this indicates that he either likes physical activity, like he likes sports, he's an athlete himself, he might be very into sports, or this could indicate that he is very interested in like making sure that you're doing something that's good for your well-being. This could be like a mental athlete or a physical athlete, but regardless, he likes the idea of getting yourself out there, doing something competitive, and kind of like overpowering your own mind. This talks about like personal willpower and strength of spirit. So that expression, mind over matter, is what's coming to me right now, where he likes to test himself. He likes to put himself in situations where he overcomes, and then he can feel more confident. So he might do things where he likes to face his fears. So if he has a fear of heights, he might be the kind of person that goes rock climbing, or like I said, he might just be very into athletic stuff. This could kind of like translate a little bit more into athleisure wear, that kind of vibe. But I think he likes challenging himself. I think he likes seeing what he can achieve and what he can accomplish. And like I said, this doesn't have to be physical athletic. This could be mental. This could be he likes challenging himself, and like he never really allows himself to get complacent, and he'll continue to grow and change and maybe pursue passions or try to get promoted, things like that. It's just basically like him saying, I don't ever want to settle. I want to keep putting myself in positions to build that confidence within myself. Yeah, exactly. So, Techie, that is what I have for you, friends. Hey, Kayla, thank you for checking in, girl. Are you okay if I run to the bathroom real quick? I chugged like a bottle of water before I started this live, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta go. Let me know. If you're in a hurry, I can try to get to yours real quick. But if you have a second, I would love to run to the bathroom. Okay. Techie, thank you so much for your donation. I hope that brought a little more clarity and perspective into maybe like what it is you were looking for about him and what you wanted to know. I think also too, just getting more familiar with him, more comfortable, when you guys can actually start having these kinds of conversations, you'll start to see these things coming through for him. Glad you said that, because I was curious if I was reading into his playfulness and him being social. Like playfulness meaning like deception, like playfulness meaning like player vibe. No, I think that he's just a genuinely social person. I think he likes getting to know people. I think he would be a great person to bring to like an outing or a social event. Um, I feel like he knows how to really just make himself fit in really well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, he's I think these are really good qualities, and like I said, whenever I do the archetype deck, if it comes out upright, it means it's the positive attributes of that card. If it comes out negative, it means it's the negative attributes of that card. And luckily, every card that came out was positive, so I think you're good there. Yeah, exactly, yeah. You're not reading into his playfulness, that is part of his personality, but I think also he might hike it up a notch for you because he's interested. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tucky. You're welcome. Have a good night. All right, so I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quickly. And then when I get back, we will be moving on to Kayla. After Kayla, I have IJ. And donations are still open if anyone else is interested. All right, Kayla, I'm back. Thank you for that. All right, will second round interview go well on Friday to where they offer you a full-time position? All right, I want to say this looks really good. I feel like this is a yes. I have the 9 of Pentacles that came out first. And that is like the energy of culmination, meaning that all of your hard work is paying off. And you're receiving the or like reaping the rewards basically. In this particular picture, it kind of indicates someone who's kind of got that call, got good news. Now you can sit back and celebrate. Pour yourself a glass of something sparkling and just relax because you did it. You know you got it and you're just really happy. So that energy being in this reading really makes me feel like you do get good news. It goes well, you get the offer, and you get to kind of sit there and relax and celebrate it. I also have the 6 of Pentacles, which means that you're getting effort put back into you, or you're getting an offer in reciprocation. So the 6 of Pentacles talks about matched energy, it talks about mutual energy. Oh my gosh, my cat just shut my other cat out of his bedroom. I'm gonna have to get up in a minute. Sorry. It talks about like giving and receiving mutual reciprocation, meaning that like you guys are on the same page. So I know that whenever you go in for an interview, it's like you feel like you're the one being interviewed because you want the job. But also in a sense, you're interviewing them to see if like this is a job that's going to be a good fit for you. And it talks about the mutual benefit, essentially, of like you're a good fit for them, they're a good fit for you, hand in hand, shake hand, that kind of thing. And that's basically the energy of the 6 of Pentacles. It's like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Like, let's be synergy, let's work together. The Page of Swords is here also with the Knight of Pentacles, meaning that you're taking an opportunity. And Page of Swords is kind of like a novice. It doesn't mean that you are for this position. If that relates to you, you can take it. But it indicates like maybe this is very new. This is a very new opportunity. There might be some training involved, some knowledge to attain. But in general, I think that they're looking at you as like top candidate. So with this energy, with these cards I'm pulling, like I feel good saying yes. It's your current job. You're interviewing for full time. Your manager and supervisor. You said it's more nerve wracking. Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning, your hard work is paying off. Like everything you've done up until this point is like working out in your favor. So your history with these people then is indicating that they're using that to observe your what's the word I'm looking for? Your qualification for this position. And so that indicates that like everything you've done up until this point is going to be returned to you. It's going to be given back to you. So it's good that you have a good work ethic. It's good that you've done everything you're supposed to do because now that's going to be returned in favor. Hold on, Bodhi. I really hope I'm right. And I really, really hope you can come back in here in a couple of days and be like, I got it. I'm really rooting for you, sending you such good vibes on this. And you're very, very, very welcome. Kayla, was there anything else you wanted to add on for before I move on to the next person? Cool. All right. Thank you, Kayla. Have a great rest of your night. All right. So, IJ, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle here and see what we're working with. Channeled message. And to IJ, please. And to IJ. Hold on, Bodhi. Almost done. Okay. So she says, I feel like anything is possible and the world is my oyster. There is this freeing feeling within me and it feels so good. I feel confident in my path and aligned. There is a pep in my step and I hope I never lose this feeling. It's making me feel like I can see more clearly and have a better sense of direction. When it comes to you, I want to give you your flowers back. I want to return to you all of the love, support, compliments, and attention that you have given to me. I know it has taken a while to get me here, but your eyes on me have made me feel so incredible, and I want you to experience this too. Well, you made her feel incredible. That was all you, she says. But she is feeling good. You know this song, I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. That was like the song that I kept hearing while I was channeling. And, maybe she's finding some sunshine after a hard few months or something. She's feeling happy and sunshiny and I think she's really just trying to soak that up right now. Yeah, I can tell. The message in that song felt like it was for you too. I know. You're welcome, IJ. Thank you for your patience. I know you had to wait like an hour or more, maybe. I tried to get through everybody as quickly as I could. I was actually surprised that it's only taken me an hour and a half to finish all of the donations that had come through. So, thank you again. I'm sure we'll talk soon. All right, friends. So I'm at the end of my donation list. So we're just going to hang out for a few more minutes. There's no wait currently, but I am putting a last call on the screen for donations before I close the list. So any last minute people that want to get a donation in, I'm going to be here for about 5-ish more minutes. And then if nothing else comes through, we'll sign off for the night and I will be back this week. So we're just going to hang and we'll see if anything else wants to be made or anyone else wants a reading. Hey, lovely. In-depth reading. Sweet. I am ready for you. You came just in time for no wait. For Anitha, hello, welcome in. I am not doing free readings right now. And the only free readings I do offer when I'm offering them are yes, no questions. So I wouldn't be able to do that for free either way. Another night you're going to bed earlier than normal. That's good. That's good though. That's why I'm on a little earlier myself because I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing. I've got a appointment in the morning-ish. Well, it's technically the afternoon, but it's early for me. So, because I work nights. So I'm like, well, maybe if I go to bed a little earlier, it won't be too bad. Jam-packed day tomorrow. after the appointment, I've got some errands to run, and then I'm going to hopefully make it to my nephew's first soccer practice of the season. And then after that, I'm going to come home and work. So it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. You're trying because when you wake up, you feel like your morning is gone. Well, what time do you normally wake up? Hopefully it is sweet. A couple years ago he did baseball and that was really cute because the kids didn't know anything that they were doing. And I want to say it was when he was like 4, 3 or 4, or maybe it was like a multi-age league and he was like playing in the sand and stuff. And all their attention span was like they're so all over the place. It was like funny and cute to watch. I feel like this might be a little more structured, but at the same time, I really don't know what to expect. I don't know what the age ranges are, but I think it might be like a 5 to 7 league or something. So we'll see. We'll see. And I don't know for sure if I'll be able to go, but I'm going to try. Depends. Sometimes 10:30, 11 if you don't have clients. That's nice though that you can make your own schedule. But yeah, I mean, when you're waking up at that time, it's like, of course, your morning's going to fly by. But the earlier you wake up, the earlier you're tired. So it's like catch 22. Your nephew was the same in baseball and he did soccer. Does he still play? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think at this age, it's kind of like one of those things where you introduce them to it. You like let them get a feel for it and maybe like try different leagues and stuff and then see if it's something that they want to continue. But I know when I was a kid, I was into, or I wasn't into it, but I was put into soccer for quite a few years. And, um, when my mom was still married to my bio dad, they did softball. And then when I was like a little older, we did like a bowling league for a couple of years. I think really it's just like it's discovery. It's like figuring out if the kids like it or not. And just getting them into much like a bunch of different things just to kind of see what sticks, if anything sticks at all. Yeah, exactly. Like it's not anything that you need to take seriously, but that's cool though. I mean, at least he still has the experience that he had. He'll probably remember it. Okay, Mike's current energy. He was in basketball but didn't like it for a while. We'll see, they're giving him opportunity like to try different things, baseball, soccer, basketball. Maybe sports just isn't his thing. And that's okay too. Sports wasn't my thing. If anything, I would have probably like I was into music. That was like more my thing. So I did a lot of like instruments. Like I did violin, I did chorus. I was really into like drama theater. Like that was more my shtick, like the arts. And if I was gonna do anything extracurricular, probably would have been something like dance. Um, but my parents just didn't have the financial means or interest to put me in classes like that, so I just never really bothered. Um, but maybe your nephew just like is into something kind of different than sports. Say you're going to post how good you feel when you're back on your pescatarian diet, just eating fruits. You never got to it, but he posted a picture of a plate he cooked. It was salmon. You guys are so funny. How does that keep happening? All right. So we have Aquarian energy here. And that's actually, it's kind of resonating for me with that because I remember in one of the channeled readings that we did, one of the most recent ones, whatever day that was, he was talking about like being of service to other people, and like thinking about people outside of himself. So the Aquarius energy is really making me feel like he's being more progressive. He's thinking more outside of himself right now. He's thinking more about like other people, and that does kind of translate over to you because it makes me feel like his energy is like more of a selfless lover. Okay. So maybe before it was all about like him and what was good for him and what he wanted. And I think that that selflessness can translate to all areas of a relationship, and what it boils down to is consideration. And so maybe he's shifting that from that energy of like, well, I'm just looking out for me, to more of like a, how can I expand past this place that I've been in, and how much more consideration can I give to Lovely, and how much more selflessness can I demonstrate in a connection with her and a relationship with her. And just wanting to kind of, and it feels good to him. It feels good to him to consider other people and think about other people. It doesn't feel good to just think about yourself. It's very limiting and kind of icky feeling. And like, I don't think people really realize, if you're not considering another person and you're not doing for others, it's, I don't know. It doesn't feel good, but sometimes people don't recognize that. So for him, it's like, that's going to translate to how he treats you. It's going to translate to considering you in everything he does, meaning that translates to faithfulness. That means not being a selfless lover, in the bedroom, making sure that you are having a good time yourself. Um, making sure that he, is making you a priority. That selflessness translates to so much more. And if he had this quality about him back when things went down, he wouldn't have ruined this. This would not have happened. And so I think that might be one of his biggest takeaways right now, is if I had just considered her, if I had just considered the perspective she was coming at me from, if I wasn't, projecting my own feelings onto how that made me feel and not really considering how she was feeling in that moment, maybe this wouldn't have happened. So I do think that this is like him saying, it's not just a matter of growing and evolving, it's a matter of thinking in a very progressive way, wanting to be of service to other people. Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. So in like a north node, south node situation, Leo's very self-centered, self-serving, very self-focused on themselves, and that's all good and dandy for a Leo. But of course, Aquarius is more like, let's think about things outside of ourselves. And yes, prioritizing himself. So this literally makes so much sense. You remember a few days after everything happened, he posted a before and after picture. And his caption was all about how in the past he always put himself last until one day he decided to only prioritize himself. So this literally makes so much sense. So Lovely, where he goes wrong is when he tries to overcorrect. So he goes, okay, well, I've always been putting people first. So now I'm just going to put me first. That's overcorrection. There's two things can happen at one time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. There can be a balance. And the thing about you, Lovely, is you would have shown him that balance. If he was in the headspace to be that considerate, selfless person and made you a priority, you would have reciprocated that tenfold, and he would have realized that there can be balance. Like if he makes you a priority, it doesn't mean he's not a priority anymore. It just means that he's making you a priority, and then therefore you will make him a priority. And it's not like what feel like what spirit's coming through is it's not, we don't have to make ourselves the center. We don't have to make ourselves the center, because if we're doing enough for other people, they will make us the center of their world, right? And it's all about self-importance. So what he's not processing is that when you meet someone good and you prioritize them, consider them, and you're selfless with them, they're going to return that. And it's like, just because you didn't get that experience in the past doesn't mean it can't happen with someone else. And for whatever reason in his mind, it was this black and white thing. It was like, if I don't prioritize me, no one's going to. And maybe realizing the type of person you are, he's kind of starting to put the pieces together and saying, wait, maybe she would have reciprocated. Maybe she would have also made me feel important, and I wouldn't have had to like push so hard for this independence, right? um we also have like the full moon and Capricorn card. So that's showing me that like this tough cycle that he's been going through, because like Capricorn's like Saturnian energy, where like we're facing our challenges, we have to be really rigid, we have to be really strict and all of that. It's telling me that from his perspective, he feels like things are getting easier, or they're going to start getting easier. I see here with the Two of Cups and the Queen of Cups that he's very much still in this with you, mentally, emotionally, romantically. He's like, how do I get back in her good graces? There's maybe a lot of fantasy about taking you out on a date, going on vacation with you, wining and dining you, rewriting this story. Okay. I feel like there's a desire for reconciliation too. We have the Six of Cups. That is something that I have been picking up regardless. But just seeing the Six of Cups here is like, I want to come back, and I don't want to come back empty handed. I want to come back and I want her to feel at peace about it. I want her to feel good about considering me and giving me another chance. And I really want to reunite with her, and I want to make it right with her. You also have the Queen of Pentacles, which, as you know, the queen, the wife, the mother of my children kind of vibe. The Queen of Pentacles is definitely like you're the main woman for him. We also have the Five of Wands that can talk about feeling in competition, at odds with other people. So there might still be that insecurity for him hanging about that you're like talking to other people right now or dating other people. That's good. And you know what? Cooking for yourself is important. Like, cooking for himself and, having these deep thoughts, these captions talking about how I've made it in the past. I want to prioritize myself, that kind of thing. That's basically him having reflection. And maybe, no, maybe his thoughts aren't always like organized or correct, but him making these captions, whether they're relatable, whether they're right, whether they're wrong, whatever, it's indicating that from his perspective, he is reflecting. He is having introspective moments where he's looking within himself for answers and trying to figure things out. And him like making himself food. Like I feel like he's really just doing things that are going to be really good to like nourish him mentally. Um there's still a little anxiousness and still a little nervousness surrounding you. I've got to be real. But there's still also that magnetism, that draw to you, that attraction and that desire to be close to you is still looming about as well. I feel like he wants you to know that he appreciates you too and that he's seeing you in a different light. Um, I think he always thought you were special, but I think that he's somehow like appreciating who you are as a person so much more than maybe what he neglected to recognize in the first place. Cooking healed you from heartbreak. I love that. So, do you have any follow up or anything that you need me to kind of go over again, or does that help? Yeah, same. I love cooking, but I like cooking for people. Um, I like cooking for my husband and my family. If it's just me, I will cook just because it's easier to cook once and then eat on leftovers for a while. But typically I like being able to cook for someone. So plus I like being able to control the ingredients that are going into my food. If you get like prepackaged food and things, like they probably put a crap ton of salt and all kinds of stuff in there, and I'm like, yeah, it may taste good, but so bad for you. So I like being able to control all of those ingredients. You said no follow-up. That's helped a lot. Okay, perfect. You're welcome. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and we'll talk soon. So I guess that's where I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Sleep tight. Have a great night. Hopefully you get more of your morning to yourself tomorrow. If not, and you sleep in, then you needed the sleep, so don't feel bad about that. I'll talk to you later. Bye, girl.